What's up, everyone? Welcome to Among the Fence. My name is Aaron. Today we're checking out the album A Sign of Things to Come by the band Sylosis. This is a sixth studio album from the British thrashish, metalish band since they formed in the year 2000. They went on hiatus, though, when frontman Josh Middleton filled in for Architects on guitar after the passing of Tom Cyril. They did come back, though, in 2019, now with Josh just in both of the bands. I discovered Sylosis in 2012 with the release of Monolith, which is still one of my favorite albums to this day. Their last record, Cycle of Suffering, from 2020, it was good. I enjoyed it, but it did have a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of memorable moments, but also a lot of forgettable moments compared to their earlier work. This new album seemed like they were taking a step back, though, with some kind of old school influences that they brought back from the past, and also a lot of more modern stuff. So I wasn't really sure what direction it was going to go in, but either way, I was stoked to check it out. The album opens up with Deadwood, which was one of the singles they released, and also I feel like one of the better songs off of this album. The verses are pretty groovy in a thrashy kind of way, where the choruses have big chords and a lot of different vocal varieties going on. I get a really strong bleed from within vibes basically from every part of this, including every part of this entire album. The breakdown is cool. It's not really too generic sounding. The guitar solo was, I guess, neat, but the outro for me was the best part. And then we have the title track, A Sign of Things to Come. It does the typical kind of cool riff in the intro, which is vocals in the verse. It does get a little bit heavy, though, like halfway through each one of the verses, which, again, kind of typical. The chorus is catchy, especially the hook at the end. I enjoyed that a lot. But, I mean, I know this is one of the singles released, and it's like meant to be catchy and get everybody excited for the new album. But this one is just, it was just too generic for me. I'm assuming that Poison for the Lost is about, like, false preachers or preachers brainwashing people and using their platforms basically just to become wealthy and manipulate people. The drums really carry the verses in this, but I do love the aggression in the pre-chorus mostly. The guitar solo that popped up instead of the breakdown, like you definitely feel like a breakdown's coming in. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it all that much. It was nice to have a little bit of a change up. The breakdown does come later, of course. I mean, you can't not have a breakdown. But the guitar solo is just kind of meh. And then we also have The Descent, which I didn't enjoy that song too much either. I'm really glad that they didn't, like, hold back in the verses, but it does still feel kind of generic, mainly in the chorus. The transitions, it's just, the breakdown is kind of circle pit inducing. It doesn't stand out too much, but I don't know, I still enjoyed the song, even though it's mostly made for like a live show, I feel like. And then we have Parias, which stands for Outcast. It's really stompy while the chorus keeps the aggression going with a little bit more of a mellow rhythm that I enjoyed a lot. The breakdown is cool thanks to the lead guitar, giving it some more atmosphere. And this time I really did enjoy the guitar solo because it reminded me so much of Born of Osiris, but it didn't feel like, I don't know, they were trying to copy them. It just felt like, it just reminded me of it instead of feeling like they were just ripping it off. I also enjoyed Absent a lot. I enjoyed that one. It starts off with gentle vocals. It feels like it's kind of theatrical, especially when the strings join in. It describes the feeling of depression very well. It explodes in the bridge where all of this like pent up emotion and passion finally comes out. And you definitely feel it. You feel it when the distorted vocals come in and the music really becomes powerful. And I really enjoyed how well they communicated that emotion. Then we have Eye for an Eye. It brings the energy back up after Absent, which, I mean, it does have a lot of energy to it, but it does feel like the midpoint kind of slow song. The riff is really sick, but the drums and the vocals really carry this song. They sound so raw. The chorus has a good mixture of like clean and distorted vocals that I enjoyed a lot. I just wish it wasn't so predictable. Like when it happens, you're like, oh, okay, so they're kind of doing that here. The distorted vocals, they sound, I don't know, kind of like early 2000s metalcore. They just feel kind of dated, especially in this song, which I really wanted to enjoy a lot. It does have a good nostalgic feeling to it, and the riff and the breakdown is super heavy. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it had like a metalcore kind of feel to it, which is weird because they wanted to step away from that, but there's definitely a lot of really strong metalcore influences in it, specifically in this song. Judas continues the narrative from the song Poison for the Lost. If you couldn't tell, he really shows his dislike for religion, specifically in this song. I did enjoy the atmosphere of this thing overall, as it's a little bit more thrashy. The backing vocals in the chorus was a nice touch. It adds a lot more depth and just, I don't know, more dynamics to the song. The riff, though, is just perfect. It's just old school death metal and old school thrash, I guess you could say. Even the solo is great with the blast beats playing behind it. It just gives it just that old school feel, which I just absolutely love. And then we have the song Thorns. This one is kind of like a more heavy metal version of Sanitarium, I guess you could say. The dynamics between the two vocals, it works really well, sounds great. The progression throughout the song is fantastic, and the chorus grows on you the more you listen to it, and the break just brings it back around to kind of the dramatic intro it started out with, where you kind of lose track of where it's at, and then it kind of resets, which, I don't know, I liked it. Then we have the closing track, A Godless Throne. This one has like a completion of everything we've heard so far. It's got that really heavy atmosphere. It's a little bit darker. It has some of my favorite melodic moments in it. I didn't really care that much for the chorus, as it just feels generic and dramatic at the same time. It's just a good closing track because it's encompasses every sound, all the riffs and everything we've gone over. So I did enjoy this album quite a bit, but it does have its flaws. There's not a whole lot of difference between a lot of the songs, specifically the riffs. They feel like a lot of the riffs are recycled, a lot of the drum parts are recycled. The distorted vocals, they're not really that, they don't pull your attention. They don't really draw you in like a lot of other vocalists within this kind of genre do. It feels heavily bleed from within inspired. It sounds like they're just kind of riding their coattails in a sense. And not to sound bad or anything, because I know they are doing their own thing. It's just, it's just not new. It doesn't bring anything new to the table, especially compared to their old stuff, which I feel like did, especially the times when it was coming out. I feel like they're just kind of riding the wave of what everybody else is doing and what most fans of this are listening to, instead of bringing a new, fresh take on these different sounds. I mean, it doesn't, I don't know. I feel like they could do better. It feels like they weren't trying to be too creative. They were just kind of writing songs and going through the motions on this one. I enjoyed it, but I don't know. I probably won't ever go back and listen to it again because of those reasons. So with all that said, I gotta give A Sign of Things to Come by Sylosis a 6.6 out of 10. But I want to know what you guys think. I'm not really sure. I don't have too many Sylosis fans within my circle of friends, so I don't know how people are taking this album. So leave a comment below letting me know what you thought of A Sign of Things to Come. Let me know what you'd rate it, what your favorite song is, and also if you enjoyed this video, you want to continue to see more of me, you want to help me out with YouTube's algorithm, please consider giving this video a like. It helps out so much. It keeps me in your recommended section, and it just shows YouTube that you care enough to interact, so maybe it'll show me to more people, which, you know, it does a lot for me. And if you want to support me, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon. Doing all that stuff, just, it does a lot, and I appreciate it more than you guys could ever imagine. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day or night, whenever you happen to be watching this, and I will talk to you guys next time.